Today we're talking about iView, which is a module that's been made available free of charge within CAMS 9. iView, in a nutshell, enables monitoring centres to resell visual verification of alarm activations. Now, it's not a replacement for Remote Guard, which is the full-blown video monitoring service that's available within CAMS 9. But iView is a nice adjunct or a complement to that. And today I have on the phone with me Glenn Smith, who's the Managing Director from Suretek, who's going to share some insights into what iView is and how it compares to Remote Guard, and when and how monitoring centres should be selling both of those as a service. So to kick off, Glenn, I guess it would be good if you could give us an idea of how iView relates to and connects to the monitoring centres as opposed to Remote Guard.
Yeah, iView simply, there's a camera at a remote location, I can connect to it, click one button, you have a look. We've made that very simple now. That's extremely simple, just as simple it is with Remote Guard. But iView, you've got to have something to cause you to connect to the site. The site doesn't report in. It's, in other words, a monitoring station connects to the camera. Whereas Remote Guard, the cameras connect to the monitoring station, pass on the information they've got, the operator can then connect to that camera and other cameras in a simple click of a button. So when you see people use the both, it's chalk and cheese.
Right, and I guess we can touch on the differences and how the two relate a little bit later on. But I just wanted to refer back to an offline conversation that we had where you'd mentioned something that piqued my interest, where you'd sort of explained how monitoring centres have not been quick to adopt video monitoring or the reselling of video monitoring services. Now, to me, it would seem obvious to marry on-site alarm or video cameras with alarm activation services so that the operator could then quickly verify what's going on site. But you're saying that there's been delay in adopting that as a technology. Can you explain the reason for that?
Well, monitoring centres are extremely busy environments, and if you get a video alarm that you would, like a standard video alarm, you might spend 3 or 4 minutes on it, looking through images, getting back to the client if there's something. Yeah, that's all disruptive. That means your normal dialer traffic are banking up. That means it takes you longer to get to the alarm. So, and this is where video monitoring in the past, it's just been so disruptive that it's not profitable. And previously it required proprietary hardware, like the ad pros and all that sort of stuff, to be able to look at it from a remote location. And, which system do they go for to satisfy all bureaus? If they're a bureau facility, they've got to put in different systems. They've got to have multiple operator terminals, some set up for video. Well, IP has changed that part of it. Now we can look at it from a browser. But the thing was, the monitoring station still didn't make money from it, and it still remained very disruptive to normal operations in the monitoring centre. I just really wasn't interested in bringing in the CAMS because all I saw for Suretek was us spending a lot of money on implementing it on the software and not a lot of people using it. But when I saw the Mobotics camera, and there's a few others now that can do similar things, I thought, hang on a minute, here's an opportunity here. Here's an intelligent camera that can solve half the other problems. And finally I saw a way where monitoring centres can offer a service and actually make some money. And that was so important. And it removed all the disruptive side of things. It made it very simple for monitoring centres to incorporate video monitoring alongside the normal dialer monitoring without it being disruptive. You still spend a little bit of time, but the rewards are there for the time that you spend, and that's never happened before. So we did that, and that's why Remote Guard's been hugely successful. But with the CAMS iView, you have an alarm or an event of some type, and you acknowledge that hey, I've got a camera at that site, let's go and have a look at it. Remote Guard will actually send you the image that set the alarm off. The operator will just basically click on it, and you're looking almost instantly at the image that caused the alarm. Whereas iView, the alarm may have gone off 5 minutes ago, and you connect to it and you look at what's happening there now. You're not looking at what happened 5 or 10 minutes earlier. With the exception of some DVR systems with iView, we can actually get in and look at the previous video, and an operator can go back and look at it. There's the differences, but like I say, we've only got 2 brands of cameras in Remote Guard. One that everyone knows about is being the Mobotics. Another one's about to be released. Both very intelligent cameras. But with iView, there's over 90 brands of cameras and DVRs, and basically everything that's out there. You get the analog, you get some IP stuff. We just enable you the means and the mechanisms to connect to all the brands of cameras that don't require proprietary hardware at the monitoring centre.
Why does iView support so many more brands than Remote Guard?
See, remote guards are very much what we consider prestigious in the way that it operates and works, and I don't want to have a camera in there that doesn't perform to the same level as Mobotics and a few of the others. So you will not find some of the iView cameras ever go into remote guard, but you'll find all the remote guard cameras will also work in iView. That's compatible that way. So I won't mention brands, but I've seen some cameras that got a good name, good brand and everything else, but poor performance. They just send data after data after data. And the last thing I want to do is fill up monitoring center screens with unnecessary data. That's why some of those are in iView and they're not in remote guard.
And I guess the customization between remote guard and the cameras is a lot deeper than iView.
Absolutely. It's not a very timely job for us to put cameras into iView. It is a very timely job to put cameras into remote guard because remote guard is more compatible with intelligent cameras. That's a huge difference there. Remote guard's also got the billing platform in. I mean, if you get an operator that connects to a camera with iView and he's online for 5 minutes to that camera, you've got to write that down so your accounts office can manage that or let it be all they can eat. Who knows what you might do. But with remote guard, if you want to bill your client for data used or operator time used or a combination of both, it does it automatically. Remote guard does all the billing for you because that's the other part of the disruptor. Somebody's got to bill it. If you're not making money out of it, what's the point? You know, you look at different brands of cameras, how long was I on site for, virtually on site for to that camera. Somebody's got to do that separately. With a remote guard, it's all built in. So that difference is billing, ease of use, and getting operators into the job, out of the job so they can move on to something else. That's extremely important.
And that was Glenn Smith, the Managing Director of Suretek, talking about the new iView module, which is available free of charge within CAMS 9. iView is compatible with over 90 brands of DVRs, NVRs, and IP camera technologies. And all you need to do is get your customers to provide you, the monitoring center, with the IP address and the port number and or the login details of the cameras, and you will be able to instantly access any of those devices directly from within CAMS using iView. iView also has a privacy layer built in. So basically the login details, the usernames, passwords, the IP addresses and so on are all hidden from the CAMS operator within the CAMS platform, which prevents unauthorized access to the surveillance systems outside of the monitoring center. If you'd like to get a live demo of the iView module or remote guard, then please get in contact with Suretek on 1300 65 4433 or go to suretek.com.au/CAMS.